Hey everyone, with Cherry Blossom removed from the rotation of operations to play, I have decided to skip the discussion replay analysis as I already mentioned in the Charles Martel replay, but I actually have a special treat for you in this one. If you haven't guessed by now, it is actually a permanent night Cherry Blossom replay. And here I am playing the Tier 8 Russian cruiser Chapayev.
Бой начинается.
And I'm going to pause it for a second here. One thing I didn't mention in the last Charles Martel replay was you have a limited selection of ships, being all cruisers and only of allied nations, which would be United States, France, Great Britain, and Russia. We'll see if they decide to change that in the coming version that they give us, hopefully soon. Now, I'm in the most northern position. We usually have someone more central radar, but I am the one with the longest radar here, so I like to have Russian radar because it has the longest range, can catch all the destroyers.
Вражеский эсминец потоплен.
A note on detonations: you can detonate the bots in scenarios, and as far as we know, players cannot be detonated, so you don't need to run your Juliet Charlie flags. Now, if you see here, the time where we killed the fourth destroyer is 1836, well within the time of 1830 where they have torpedoes loaded and ready to shoot. Now you see here, I didn't shoot right away. The reason is you want the heavy cruisers to load AP, and you want them to shoot first. Because what happens is, once the Miyoko starts taking hits, it'll start moving, and you want it to be still to maximize the number of citadels you can get with the heavy cruiser AP. And again, you'll see that the heavy cruiser is responsible for killing off the first Miyoko quickly. Now here, you see the two Albas have just been detected. As mentioned in the last video, this is the time where you want to radar to catch the destroyers. And one thing to note you want to have premium consumables. Otherwise, I would not have been able to radar again so quickly. And the role of a light cruiser is mostly to shoot destroyers. But here, I was in the best position to take on the
Крейсер врага
Albas.
потоплен. Вражеский крейсер уничтожен.
Now, if you remember from the Charles replay, you generally want to put out fires, even a single fire in Cherry Blossom. Because don't forget, if you are showing broadside to any cruisers, they are ready to shoot armor piercing at you, and those can hurt. And with the second Miyako dead, we radar the next set of destroyers.
Вражеский эсминец потоплен.
And radar the last two. Now, you want to make sure to kill these a little faster when you are this far south, because they can have torpedoes ready to shoot at you, and it's happened before.
Вражеский эсминец уничтожен.
Alright, so I'm pausing here. Has there been much difference with a normal replay versus permanent night so far? No, right? The only main difference you might have noticed is no flares at all. And that's how we knew when we encountered a permanent night. If you had flares, you had a normal cherry blossom. If you didn't have flares, you were facing a permanent night cherry blossom. And we have figured out what triggers a permanent night. And you can study this replay and the previous playlist I put up. See if you can figure it out, as I'm not going to disclose this right now. The big difference in permanent night versus regular cherry starts in the second half. What happens is you'll start seeing planes on the minimap like normal, except what's not normal is the planes also have the effect of the nighttime, and they are very hard to detect. In fact, you don't see them on your normal screen until they are basically on top of you. And then the other main difference with permanent night is the Zows do not leave. So when you're facing a permanent knight, you also have to kill all 3 Zhaos. Now with permanent knight, it's very difficult to see the planes. So what we did here was we all huddled together near the carriers to overlap our AA umbrella as much as possible. It's a big mistake to be spreading yourselves out when you're encountering a permanent knight situation. So here, you're seeing planes on the mini-map, but you can't see them yet. See, you don't see them until they're basically on top of you, and you can't shoot down what you can't see. So the planes are a big problem in this mode. There's been guesses among the regular operations group that this could be the hard mode, but that's up to Wargaming to decide if they want to do it this way for hard mode.
Дежурят в обычном режиме.
Like normal, the Tago is the first target you want to kill after the first wave of planes is gone. And you want to start off the second half very defensively.
Торпеды по левому борту.
Now you'll see, as relative to the Charles Martel replay of a normal Cherry Blossom, we have not started the push yet. It's only now that the second plane wave is gone and we've done some damage that we are able to start pushing in.
Вражеский эсминец уничтожен. Вражеский эсминец уничтожен.
Торпеды прямо по курсу. Торпеды прямо по курсу.
5 минут до конца боя.
Торпеды слева по борту.
Вражеский крейсер потоплен.
Now, one thing you might have noticed is you retain the decreased visibility of the nighttime. And you can use that to help yourself, but it's still very difficult to push in.
Вражеский эсминец потоплен.
And while this permanent night was successful, there have been many times where we've actually failed as well.
Вражеский крейсер уничтожен.
Here, looking at the time, we're pretty much done. We're not waiting for new spawns, so we're just ending it.